Well, I keep on thinking about you, sister golden hair surprise, and I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my eyes? Well, I've been one poor correspondent, and I've been too hard to find, but it doesn't mean you ain't been on my mind.
Hey, it's Nate, and today I'm doing Sister Golden Hair by America. This song is so fun and breezy, and it's really easy to learn. Let's jump in. Alright, so first off, I recommend you get the chords and lyrics chart. There's a link down in the description, and that's going to help you follow along and see where the chords and the lyrics line up with each other. This song is in the key of E major, so F's, G's, C's, and D's are all sharp, and here is middle C, just so you get the octave. We'll start off with the intro. Here's the chords for that, and we're actually going to be playing the chords with our left hand because we're going to use the right hand to play the slide guitar melody. First, we've got a C sharp minor, and I'm playing up here above middle C. That's C sharp, E, and G sharp. We're going to need an A, C sharp, and E, and an E, G sharp, and B, and then it does briefly go to the E sus4, so just coming up with an A with the second finger before resolving back down to the G sharp. We're in 4/4 time, so each of these measures gets 4 counts, and I'm just going to play quarter notes in the left hand like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And just at the end there, that's when the right hand melody comes in. But let's finish up the chord progression with the left hand, and then we will look at the right. So next up, we've got a G sharp minor. It's the same shape as the C sharp minor was, but we got G sharp, B, and D sharp. And that's going to last for 2 measures. And then back to the C sharp minor for just 1 measure, stepping down B major, B, D sharp, and F sharp, and that's just 1 measure, and then we land on A for 2 measures. And that would be going into the verse. In order to get the rhythm right with the right hand melody, we need to think in 1/8 notes, so dividing the beat in half, not just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, but thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And here are the notes and rhythms for the right hand. We've got right hand notes up above and then the chord that the left hand is on for that measure in the left. And like I said, it starts in the middle of the last measure of the first line where the left hand has already gotten to E. The first 3 notes are actually just tracing out a G sharp minor chord. We've got G sharp, B, D sharp, and the rhythm there, they're all on the upbeats, on the ands. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and then the D sharp just holds through the next measure. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now same rhythm again, and it starts the same way, but we hit an E at the top. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and coming up to the C sharp minor here. And then from here on out, it's actually very simple. We're just going to step down from E to D sharp to C, and it's going to be from the E that hits on the last beat of the previous measure before C sharp minor. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That was just with holding the left hand chords. Let's get those quarter notes back in there. So the thing to really keep in mind is that whenever you're playing on the upbeats, so the first couple of bits of melody here, you're hitting in between the left hand quarter notes. We've kind of got this back and forth feel. So if we go from that E, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2. Now they're going to be together. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Well, I tried. Okay, so let's do the verse. Here are the chords to the verse, and we're going to transition to a more typical accompaniment style where the right hand is doing the chord and the left hand is doing bass notes. And a lot of the same chords we did in the intro are here, but we're doing some different inversions in some cases. We did all root position chords with the left hand because if there's no bass note grounding it on the root, you want to have that root in the bottom of the chord. But For example, on this E, we're doing an inversion, first inversion. So I am doing a super low E bass note here with my 5th finger, and then we got G sharp, B, and E, 2nd finger on that B. So that's going to be 2 measures of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doing quarter notes in the right hand now. 3, 4, G sharp minor. That's a really nice transition here. The bottom 2 notes stay the same. I can just step down to my 4th finger here. So we got G sharp, B, and D sharp. And that is going to be for 2 measures as well. And then coming up to A, just like we did it in the intro, back to E. Just notice how that transition from A to E is really smooth. We can keep our 5th finger on the E. 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, up to G sharp minor for 2 measures.
Well, I tried to make it Sunday, but I got so damn depressed that I set my sights on Monday, and I got myself undressed. I ain't ready.
That's the best part of this song, the melody there.
I ain't ready.
So going back to A there.
Ready for the altar.
So F sharp minor here. Once again, it's a smooth transition. These 2 notes stay the same. We're just moving our 5th finger up to F sharp. Of course, coming down to the F sharp bass note there with my 4th finger. And then we've got C sharp minor. This is a different inversion than we did in the intro. So we got G sharp, C sharp, and E. And we got 2 chords in this measure, so 2 counts each. C sharp minor, 2, G sharp minor, 4. First finger stays where it was. And then a full measure of A, 3, 4. The final line here looks complicated. It's just because the chords are unusual. It's not because they're hard to play. For the F sharp minor 7, add 4. We got an A, B, and E in the right hand while doing that F sharp bass note. And then very conveniently, for the A sus2, nothing in the right hand changes. We're just changing the bass note. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we've got E, 2, E sus4. So we did the sus4 before, but in the root position. So it's the bottom note that comes up to the A, and then back 2, 3, 4. Let me do a full playthrough of that verse. I'm just going to add a little bit more rhythm with the left hand to make it groove a little better. This is optional, but I'm going to play on some of those 8th notes, particularly the and after 2, and sometimes the and after 4. So if we just loop that on the E, it would be 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3. So that and hits between the right hand notes, and you can also throw in 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. And as the song goes on and it gets more energetic, you can also totally add more of those 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and that sort of just rocking back and forth feel. 1, 2, 3.
Well, I tried to make it Sunday, but I got so damn depressed that I set my sights on Monday, and I got myself undressed. I ain't ready for the altar, but I do agree there's times when a woman sure can be a friend of mine. Well, I keep on thinking.
So that would be going into verse 2. Here's the chords for verse 2. It's the same thing. The only detail I want to add is that at the end, when we're about to go into the chorus, there's this rhythm that happens on the final E, where you hit on just 1, 2, and then rest. So those last 2 measures would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Will you meet? Leading into the chorus. Here's the chords for the chorus. There are no new chords. We do have that B major that we did with the left hand in the intro, and that is where the chorus starts. To get a little bit more energy, I'm going to go to octaves in the left hand. You could totally stick with single bass notes. You might want to do the lower one. And I'm going to keep doing that rhythm. I might do a little bit of with those ands, those upbeats, instead of just hitting the full octaves every time. I might do some of that just with my thumb, so it doesn't get too overwhelming. But we've got 2 measures of B, and then just A, 2, 3, 4, E. I think I'm gonna come up for the bass notes there, and just 1 measure of E, and then it repeats. Will you love me just a little, just enough to show you care? Well, I tried to fake it. So here it kind of takes a step back, just gonna hold the chords. Tried to fake it, I don't mind saying, I just can't make it. So same chords as we did before, just holding them out. And then we hit the instrumental section. This instrumental section is just like the intro. There is no electric bass in it, so it kind of gets a little bit thinner again. We're gonna go back to just doing the chords with the left hand up here and then do that melody again. One little detail I'm gonna add for the end of the melody. So after we've done the just gonna harmonize those last few notes. The slide guitar doesn't do that, but an electric guitar strumming chords in the background sort of implies it, and I just think it sounds good, so why not, right? So just notice at the end here, we've been stepping down the thirds, the middle notes of the chord that the left hand is playing. So we're just adding the top note a third above that the left hand is playing with the first finger. This is optional, but it's also a good opportunity to practice stepping in thirds the right way of not just hopping your hand, but doing 3 and 5, 2 and 4, 1 and 3. All right, and after that chorus, we have another verse. Here's the chorus to that. It's the same as the other verses. I do want to add one more optional detail just at the end there for the E sus4 moment again. There's this little lead guitar melody that's kind of cool. It sounds like. So if you do that melody, it's taking place of blocking out the E sus4. And so I would cross my second finger over here to do G sharp, A with the first finger up to E, and just back down those same notes. Timing there would be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2. You would still hit the 1, 2. It does that at the end of the second and the third verses. So I'll probably throw that in, maybe just on the third verse. And then we have another chorus. Here's the chords for that. Same as the first chorus. And then we transition from that to the outro. There is a very similar thing that we did on that E that happens on this A leading into the outro. So after, don't mind saying, I just can't make it, before going to that. So really similar. We start on the C sharp, which is the third of the A chord, and it's the exact same vibe here. Second finger across, thumb under. You do hear them then also hit an A there. And rhythmically, it's all eighth notes, and it starts on the first beat of the second measure of the A sus2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm gonna hit 4 in the left hand to help it kind of launch into that outro. Well, I tried to fake it, I don't mind saying, I just can't make it. Here's the chords for the outro. Just the same thing over and over again. 2 measures of B, 1 measure of A, 1 measure of E. And I'm just gonna go from top to bottom for the left hand bass notes. I'm just doing full on with the octaves and the rhythm here because this is kind of the climax in a way. But this just goes around 4 times. On the last time, we can do this cool rhythm. So the rhythm there is 1 and 2 and 3, 4. If you don't want to do the full bass melody, you could just do something like, or 1 and 2 and 3, 4. But what you hear the bass do is E, G sharp, B, E, landing on the octaves there is what I'm going to do. So we're just kind of using the notes of that inversion of the E major chord, doing top, bottom, middle, and then top, adding the octave. One more time for the last line. And then you can let that ring out and the song is over. Okay, thanks for sticking with me. I am now going to do a full playthrough so you can see how all these parts fit together in the complete song. If you got some value from this video, please give it a like. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do that and click the bell so you know when I put out more videos like this one. Okay, here's my version of Sister Golden Hair.
Well, I tried to make it Sunday, but I got so damn depressed that I set my sights on Monday and I got myself undressed. Well, I ain't ready for the altar, but I do agree there's times when a woman sure can be a friend of mine. Well, I keep on thinking about you, Sister Golden Hair Surprise, and I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my eyes? Well, I've been one poor correspondent, and I've been too hard to find, but it doesn't mean you ain't been on my mind. Will you meet me in the middle? Will you meet me in the air? Will you love me just a little, just enough to show you care? Well, I tried to fake it, I don't mind saying, I just can't make it. Well, I keep on thinking about you, Sister Golden Hair Surprise, and I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my eyes? Well, I've been one poor correspondent, and I've been too hard to find.